Hello and welcome again. Welcome to another beginner's class. This is a picture. You can't see it, but voy a darle la vuelta. I'm going to turn the picture around. Okay. Can you see the picture? It's not a very good picture, but it's sufficient for me. It's enough for me. This is a radio. Yeah, it's a radio cassette. This is a cassette. It's a big cassette. This is a table. This is a dog. This is a pencil. This is a dog too. This is a pen. This is a pen. This is a glass. This is a glass too. This is a book. And this? I don't know. This is a telephone. This is a magazine. Magazine, una revista. This is a lamp. This is a window. This is a door. This is a small cassette. This is a small table. This is a big table. This is a chair. This is a chair too. This is a small chair. This is a big chair. This is a newspaper. Okay? And this is an armchair. And this is a watch. This is a watch too. This is my watch. This is a lamp. And this is a lamp too. This is a big lamp. And this is a small lamp. The big lamp is on the floor. That's the floor. This is the floor. This is a door. This is a window. Now, where is the small dog? Where's the small dog? It's under the table. Huh? No, it's not. It's under the big... Is it under the big table or the small table? Well, the small dog is under the big table. And the small lamp? Where's the small lamp? It's on the small table. Is the small table next to the door or next to the window? It's next to the door. And which dog is in the armchair? The big dog or the small dog? Well, the big dog is in the armchair. And which dog is under the table? The small dog is under the table. Which table is the small dog under? The big table or the small table? The small dog is under the big table. And the glass? Well, which glass? The glass? Well, there are two glasses. Ah, where are they? One is on the chair, and one is on the table. Which chair is the glass on? Which glass? The big one or the small one? Well, I'm confused. Where are the glasses? One is on the table and one is on the chair. Yes, but there are two tables and two chairs. But where is the big glass? Well, the big glass is on the table. Okay. And where is the small glass? The small glass is on the chair. But which table is the big glass on? The big glass is on the big table. And which chair is the small glass on? The small glass is on the big chair. And where is the big chair? Next to the door or next to the window? The big chair is next to the window. And the small chair? The small chair is next to the lamp. But there are two lamps. Which lamp is the small chair next to? Well, the small chair is between the two lamps. It's next to the big lamp and it's next to the small lamp. But where is the small lamp? It's on the table. But which table is the small lamp on? Fijaos, pongo la preposición al final. Y cuando delimito la lección entre dos posibilidades, o máxime tres, digo which, no what. ¿Cuál de las dos mesas? ¿En cuál de las mesas se encuentra la lámpara pequeña? Which. Hay dos pronunciaciones. aspirando la H, como soplar, which o which table. Both are correct. Which table is the small lamp on? The small lamp is on the small table. Is the small lamp on the table next to the door or on the table in the center of the room? The small lamp is on the table next to the door. But I don't remember. Which table is next to the door? The big one or the small one? The small one is next to the door. And which one is in the center of the room? The big one is in the center of the room. And which table is the big cassette on? The small table or the big table? Oh, the big cassette. This one, not this one. This one is the big cassette. This one is the small cassette. The big one is on the big table. And where's the small one? Which table is the small cassette on? It's on the small table. And the big dog? Ya os lo dije, I told you. The big dog is under the big table. No, it's not. The big dog is on the armchair. And the small dog? Well, is the small dog under the armchair? No, it's not. Is it under the small table? No, it's not. Is it next to the lamp? Which lamp? Well, is it next to the big lamp? No, it's not. Is it next to the small lamp? No, it's not. Which lamp is it next to? It's not next to any lamp. Well, is it under the small table? No, it's not. Where is the small dog? It's under the big table. And which table is the book on? Well, there is a book on both tables. There's a book on the big table, and there's a book on the small table. Well, which table is the big book on? Oh, the big book is on the big table. And which table is the small book on? The small book is on the small table. And what's on the book? Nothing. There's nothing on the book. Is there anything on the other book? Which book? The big one or the small one? The small one. There's a watch on the small book. Okay. And the newspaper? Where's the newspaper? I can't remember. Is it on the chair? I don't remember. Is it on the table? I don't remember. Well, look. It's on the chair. Yes, but which chair is it on? Which chair is it on? I don't remember. Claire, which chair is the newspaper on? She doesn't know. The camera lady, she doesn't know. It's on the small table. It's on the small chair. But which chair is the small chair? Okay, what do you mean? Which chair is a small chair? The small one. This one is small and this one is big. This is the small chair and this is the big chair, okay? Now, the newspaper is on the small chair, okay? And the small chair is next to the big lamp, yeah? But isn't the small chair next to the small lamp? Yes, it's next to the small lamp too. So the small chair is between the small lamp and the big lamp. Excuse me? I said the small chair is between the big lamp and the small lamp. Okay, now is the small lamp on the small table? Otra vez. Yes, it is. Is it in the center of the table or in the corner of the table? Well, it's on, not in. It's on the corner of the table. Okay, and the big lamp? Is the big lamp on the table? No, it's not. Is the big lamp next to the window? No, it's not. Is the big lamp next to the door? No, it's not. Is the big lamp next to the small dog? No, it's not. Is it next to the big chair? No, it's not. Is it next to the window? No, it's not. Oh, where is it? It's next to the wall. It's next to the armchair. It's next to the big dog. It's next to the small chair. Okay? There are many possibilities to situate the big lamp. Okay? It's in the room. All of these objects and animals are in the room. How many objects are there in this room? Well, there's a door, 1. There's a small table, 2. There's a small cassette, 3. There's a watch, 4. There's a book, a small book, 5. There's a lamp, a small lamp, 6. There's a newspaper, 7. There's a small chair, 8. There's a big lamp, 9. There's an armchair, 10. There's a big dog, 11. There's a window, 12. There's a window handle, 13. There's a big chair, 14. There's a small glass, 15. There's a pen, 16. There's a big cassette, 17. There's a big table, 18. There's a big glass, 19. There's something, 20. All right. There's a big book, 21. There's a telephone, 22. There's a magazine, 23. There's a pencil, a long pencil, 24. That's a short pencil. And there's a small dog, 25. I think there are 25 objects in this room. A big chair, a small chair, a big dog, a small dog, a big pencil, a small pencil, a big book, a small book, a big cassette, a small cassette, a big glass, a small glass, a pen, a window handle, a door knob, not a door handle, and 2 lamps. There are 2 lamps in this room. There are 2 dogs in this room. There are 2 glasses in this room. There are 2 cassettes in this room. There's only 1 newspaper. There's only 1 magazine. Where is it? It's under the telephone. And where's the telephone? It's on the table. And the newspaper? Is it on the table? No, it's not. Where is it? It's in the chair. Which chair is the newspaper in or on? It's on the small chair. En este caso mejor on porque no es un sillón. It's on the small chair. And which chair is the dog on? Well, technically, the dog isn't on a chair. It's on an armchair. Un sillón. Una butaca. It's on the armchair. Okay. And is this a big room or a small room? It's a normal room. It's neither big nor small. It's a normal room. How many objects are there in the room? Counting the 2 animals, there are 25 objects or 23 objects and 2 dogs. There are 23 inorganic objects and 2 organic objects, the 2 dogs. And which dog is the big one? The one on the armchair or the one under the table? There isn't a dog under the table. Yes, there is. Under the big table. Okay, good. Now, which dog is the big one? The one under the table or the one on the armchair? The one on the armchair is the big one. And which glass is the big one? The one on the chair? Or the one on the big chair? Or the one on the big table? The one on the big table is the big one. The one on the chair is the small one. And which pencil is the big one? The one on the floor next to the small dog or the one on the table next to the big glass? Qué complicado eres, macho. A ver, repeat the question, please. Which pencil is the big one? ¿Cuál de los dos lápices es el grande? Which of the pencils is the big one? The one next to the small dog or the one on the big table next to the big glass and next to the book? The big pencil or the long pencil is the one next to the dog. Next to which dog? The one under the table or the one in the armchair? Let's see. A ver, me complicas tanto la cosa. The long pencil is the one next to the small dog that is under the big table. Ah, okay, now it's clear. And the small pencil, or the short pencil? The short one, the short pencil is the one on the table between the big book and the big glass. Okay. Oh, is it clear? Which cassette is the big one? The one on the big table or the one on the small table? The one on the big table is the big cassette. The one on the small table is the small cassette. Now, which one is yours? Mine is the big one. Yeah? And is the small one yours? No, it's not mine. Is it yours? No? Is it Maria's? No? Is it Claire's? The camera one. No, it's not. Whose cassette is this? It's Paco's. Ah. So this cassette is yours. And this cassette is Paco's. That's right. So Paco's cassette is the one on the small table, and yours is the one on the big table. In effecto. In effect. That's right. That's right. So, is this your dog? No, it's not. Is the other one yours? Yes, it is. Which dog is yours? The one in the armchair or the one under the table? The one under the table is mine. This dog is mine. The one on the floor. Under the big table, not under the small table. And whose is the other dog? I'm not sure. Is it Maria's? No, it's not. Is it Pepe's? No, it's not. Is it Paco's? No, it's not. Is it Manolo's dog? No, it's not. Is it Jennifer's? No, it's not. Is it Mr. Blair's? Tony Blair? No, it's not. Whose dog is the one in the armchair? I think the one in the armchair is Flora's. This dog is Flora's dog. And who is Flora? Flora is a friend of mine. Is she Spanish? Yes, she is. Does she speak English? Yes, she does. And is this her dog? Yes, it is. So Flora's dog isn't the one under the big table. Her dog is the one in the armchair. Okay. And whose book is this? This book is Flora's too. And is the other book hers as well? Is the other book hers too? No, it's not. Is it yours? No, it's not. Is it Maria's? No, it's not. Whose book is the one on the small table? Ah, the one on the small table is mine too. Ah, so the one on the big table? Is the one on the big table yours too? Yes, it is. And the one on the small table? It's mine too. Ah, so both books are yours. Yeah, both books are mine. Which one do you prefer? The big one or the small one? I prefer the one on the table. Oh, the one on which table? There are two tables, my friend. Oh, I prefer the one on the small table. Oh, in other words, you prefer the small one over the big one. Yes, I prefer the small book. I don't prefer the big one. I prefer the small one. Why do you prefer the small one? Because the small one is more interesting. So, is the big one boring? No, it's not boring, but it's not as interesting as the small one. Ah, the one on the table is less interesting than the one on the small table. No, the one on the big table is less interesting than the one on the small table. The one on the small table is more interesting than the one on the big table. Okay, and which one is easier to read? Más fácil de leer. The big one or the small one? The big one is easier to read, but the small one is more interesting. Okay, the small one. Which one is the small one? The one on the big table or the one on the small table? Otra vez, the one on the small table is the small one, and it's more interesting than the one on the big table. Vaya lío. Okay, now, which table is big? The one in the middle of the room or the one next to the door? The one in the middle of the room is big. The one that the small dog is under. Oh, the big table is the one that the small dog is under? Right. And is the small dog next to the long pencil or next to the short pencil? The small dog is next to the long pencil. Oh, 20 minutes talking about this silly picture. 25 objects. Which? The big one, the small one, the tall one, the short one, the window, the door, the big chair, the small chair, the newspaper, the magazine, the telephone, the big glass, the small glass. Which one? This one? That one? The other one? Yours? Mine? Hers? His? Ours? Theirs? Pepe's? Maria's? Tom's? Jennifer's? Alfred's? Alfredo's? Yes. This cassette is mine, and this one is mine too. I have 2 cassettes, a big one and a small one. This is the big one, and this is the small one, and this is a picture for you, to teach you English. So, remember, which? This one, that one, mine, yours. Okay? I'm finished with the picture. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye. Fingernails with toenails, because these are my fingers. I have only 10 fingers. I don't have 20 fingers, okay? Because the appendages on my feet are not called fingers. They are called toes, escrito toes, okay? So I have 10 fingers, and at the end I have fingernails. I don't bite my nails. That's a bad habit. It's not good. Do you bite your nails? If you bite your nails, you need to make an effort to stop biting your nails. I have a good friend, and he is always biting his nails. And I say, Pedro, don't bite your nails. It's a bad habit. Es un vicio. It's a bad habit. And he says, I know, I admit, it's a bad habit. I always bite my nails. No lo puedo evitar. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm a nervous person, and I channel my nerves by biting my nails. And I said, but Pedro, please make an effort to stop biting your nails. And he says, well, listen. Unlike you, a diferencia tuya, unlike you, I have never scratched a person in my life. I said, oh, that's true. So Pedro has one good thing and one bad. He bites his nails, but he has never scratched. To scratch is like this. Or if your shoulder, this is my shoulder, this is my left shoulder. If my shoulder itches, I scratch it. I scratch it utilizando. I scratch it by using. Fijaos que inserto by en medio. I scratch my left elbow by using the nails on my right hand. And if my right elbow, or my right shoulder, not my elbow, if my right shoulder itches, usually I use my left hand to scratch it. But I can scratch it. I can scratch my right shoulder with my right hand. And I can scratch my left elbow. This is my elbow, with my right hand. But I can't scratch my left elbow with my left hand. That's impossible, I think, at least for me. Okay, the human body. I remember many years ago a story. I remember one time when I was 10 years old, or 11 years old. I was in 5th grade. 5th grade. In the British system, I think they say primary 5. Quinto de primaria. Primary 5. I was in 5th grade, and one day, I think it was a Monday, one day I got to school, and when I got to the classroom, I noticed in the back corner of the classroom, there was a type of biombo. And I asked the teacher, what's that? And the teacher said, shh, you wait. Wait for what? wait until the other students come, and I will tell you. And of course, every student that went into the class would say, what's that in the back? And the teacher said, wait. And when all the students, when the class officially started, the teacher said, boys and girls, that biombo back is behind it is the super machine. And the students, and we said, the super machine? A super máquina. What's a super machine? Let's see it. He said, no, you can't see it. Next Friday, one by one, I will take you to see the super machine. And he said, but why not today? Be patient. You will see the super machine next Friday. So every day during the week, all of the students were looking back into the corner, thinking what was behind that biombo, that's a super machine. And finally, Friday arrived. Okay, finally Friday arrived. And the teacher, one by one, took every student back. And I was on the last row, near the back. I was the next to last student. No el último, pero el penúltimo. Fijaos como lo digo. I wasn't the last student. I was the next to last student to go to see the super machine. And there were probably 30 students in my class. So I watched 28 students go back, and I looked at their face when they came back, trying to read on their face what was really behind this biombo, the super machine. But finally it was my turn, and the teacher said, Clovey, it's your turn. And so I went with the teacher, and we went behind the biombo. And I looked, and there was a chair, like this chair. And on the chair, there was a shoebox. A shoebox. You know, the type of box that when you go to buy shoes and you pay for the shoes, they give you the shoes in a rectangular box made of cardboard. Cartón, papel cartón. Made of cardboard. And I saw a chair, and on top of the chair, there was a shoebox. And I looked at the teacher. It's a shoebox. He says, yes, Chloe, but open it. I opened the shoebox, and I looked. And inside was a round mirror. A mirror, round like this. I said, it's a mirror. And the teacher said, yes, but look in the mirror. And I looked in the mirror, and I saw myself and said, yeah, fine, it's a mirror. Yes, but what do you see in the mirror? I don't see anything. Well, what are you looking at in the mirror? At myself. You, Clovey, you are the super machine. Me? Yes, you are the super machine. You and people like you, the human body, is the super machine. And that was that teacher's, in 5th grade, we were only 10 years old. That was the introduction to a period of time that we studied the human body, physiology. And I will never forget my first contact with the super machine. So now, today, I'm going to explain a few things about the super machine. My super machine. Okay? So this is my hand. At the end of my hand, I have my nails. We can say nails or fingernails. Now, normally, I take a little care of my fingernails. I don't bite them very often. I clip them. When you cut fingernails, we don't say cut, we say to clip our nails. And our nails are connected to my fingers. I can bend my fingers, to bend. You see? I am bending my index finger. I am bending my little finger. I'm bending my fingers because I have knuckles, nudillos, con K, cunucles, escrito, knuckles. And these are the first articulations I have. And these are called joints, not articulations. That's Spanish. These are joints. This is a joint. This is a joint. This is a joint. This is a joint. There are a lot of joints in our body that we use to articulate movement. Okay? And these are the first knuckles. All right? And if I close my hand like this, I form a fist. A fist. Yo uso un puño. All right? This is a fist. Okay, and if I want to hit you in the nose, the first action I need to perform, realizar, the first action I need to perform is to articulate my joints and to close my hand into a fist, and then I can hit you. Okay, so this is a fist. Okay, now this on my shirt, you see, I'm going to button my sleeve. In Spanish, you call this a puño, right? And you call this a puño too. Completely different. You people are crazy with your language. Why do you call this object and this object the same thing? I have no idea. In English, no. This is a fist, F-I-S-T, and this is a cuff, C-U-F-F, cuff. Okay? And this is the sleeve, sleve, the sleeve of my shirt. Okay? You call this la manga. All right? Una manga. This is my right sleeve. This is my left sleeve. Okay? This is my left fist. This is my right fist. Now, la manga. All right? Sleeve. You know that El Canal de la Mancha is the English Channel. It's a body of water that separates Great Britain from France. And in Spanish, you call it El Canal de la Mancha. And that's a mistake. Because you see, in French, the word for that body of water is El Canal de la Manche. And Manche in French is manga. And so it's logical because the English Channel looks like a sleeve. So really, I would make a proposal to the Royal Academy of the Language to change the name of that stretch, ese tramo de agua, that stretch of water, from the Canal de la Mancha to the Canal de la Manga. The channel of the sleeve. Puño is fist. Puño de camisa, cuff. Okay? Esposas are handcuffs. Manos puños. Okay? Handcuffs. All right? And gemelos that I'm not wearing today are cuff links. Un link is un enlace, even in computers. But cuff links, enlaces de puño. I'm not wearing cuff links. I'm wearing buttons on my cuff. And if I want to roll up my sleeve, I unbutton my cuff. Watch. See? It's easy. Now, I am folding the cuff back. Do you understand? To fold is plegar o doblar, papel o tela. Doblar algo duro is to bend. But if it's something like this, it's to fold. That's to fold, okay? I am folding my cuff back, and in essence, I am rolling up. We say rodando arriba, rolling up my sleeve. You say, I think you say remangarse, okay? I'm rolling up my sleeve because it's an expression. If you need to work hard, first roll up your sleeves to get ready to work, to study English. So I'm rolling up my sleeves and I'm exposing my forearm, mi antebrazo, my forearm. This is my arm, but this is my forearm, fore. Fore significa ante. Por ejemplo, before is antes de. Todo está conectado, fore. My forearm is connected to my hand by a joint that's called a wrist. W-R-I-S-T, wrist. I have two wrists. The W is silent, wrist. Now the wrist allows me to move my hand in a very dynamic way. So it's a very dynamic joint. Yeah, I can do a lot of things with my wrist. And it's connected to my hand. This is the back of my hand, and this is the palm of my hand. Do you like to read the palm of people's hands? It tells the future. You can see the lifeline, the love line. You can see a lot of things on the palm of somebody's hand. Now in Spanish, for example, If you're very familiar with London, you can say, I know London like the palm of my hand. You say that in Spanish. In English, usually we don't. We say just the opposite. Me, London? Of course. I know London like the back of my hand. All right? Not like the palm. Okay? Who's more right, you or us? I don't know. It's a good question. What part of your hand are you more familiar with? The back of your hand or your palm? Which part of your hand do you see or look at more often? The palm or the back? I really don't know. Probably you see inadvertently, without paying attention, you see the back of your hand more. So I prefer my expression. I know London like the back of my hand. All right? I know London like the back of my hand. Okay, so it's connected to our wrist and to our forearm. Okay? If I continue rolling up, if I keep rolling up my sleeve, I expose another joint. Yeah, this one. This is my elbow. One L, elbow, E-L-B-O-W. Bow, B-O-W, means lazo. Like a bow tie is pajarita. A bow is also an arco y flecha. This is a bow, all right? Ulysses' bow was very strong. Only Ulysses could string his bow, all right? And this is an arrow. But here we're talking about an elbow. I'm moving my elbow. I'm bending my arm. You understand? I'm bending my arm, okay? And so my elbow is a joint that connects my upper arm to my forearm. My upper arm to my forearm. Now my upper arm has a bicep and a tricep. When I go to the gym, I always work out. Hacer ejercicios to work out. To strengthen, fortalecer. Strength is fuerza, or fortaleza, strength. Strong. A person who is strong is a person who possesses strength. And the verb, fortalecer, o reforzar, is to strengthen, añadiendo una en. So I work out to strengthen my biceps, and I work out in different ways to strengthen my triceps, to make my body strong. Now my upper arm is connected to my torso, like in Spanish, my body, by my shoulder. This is another joint. It's a different kind of joint than the elbow or the wrist or the knuckles, all right? And this joint is not as dynamic, really. Some people have problems with their shoulder, okay? Only once I had a problem with my shoulder. When I was playing American football, I was 17 or 18 years old. In one play, I dislocated my shoulder. Dislocate, like in Spanish. And it was very painful. It hurt a lot. It was really painful. I was in incredible pain. And I went to the sideline where the coach was. I said, Coach, my shoulder hurts. And the coach looked at it. He lifted the pad, because those protections that American football players lift, and he goes, bam! It was perfect, no problem. He put it back into place. So that was a dislocated shoulder. Now my shoulder connects my arms to my body and to my neck. This is my neck. Okay? Inside the interior of my neck is called my throat, la garganta. And if you have un dolor de garganta, we say a sore throat. Sore, sore. Sore means dolorido. So really, when we say, me duele la garganta, in English, we always say, I have a sore throat. Me duele la cabeza, I have a headache. Me duele la espalda, I have a backache. Almost always, I have. Más un tipo de dolor. There are two types of sore and ache. I have a headache. I have a toothache. Muela. I have a backache. I have a stomachache. I have a sore throat. Because a pain that involves inflammation, we normally use the adjective sore. Like Sor Ángela de la Cruz. Sore, con E al final. Sore. So I have a sore throat. And my neck is connected to my body, to my chest, to my stomach, and to the rest of my body. But I don't think I'm going to have time to finish today. So let's recapitulate a bit. My fingernails, to clip your nails, your knuckles, a fist, a cuff, all right, the back of your hand, the palm of your hand, your wrist, many different joints, your forearm, your elbow, your funny bone. Sometimes you hit a certain place on your elbow and you start laughing. And it hurts, but you start laughing. You say el hueso de la risa. We say in English, my funny bone. Okay, I hit my funny bone, all right? My upper arm, my bicep and my tricep, and my shoulder, a final joint. And then my neck, which I can move. As I get older, it's more difficult to move, okay? And I have many other things in my face, and my body, and my legs, and my feet. But we'll talk about that another day. Okay? Take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome back. Pollen in the air. I have hay fever, fiebre de leno. Allergy, springtime allergy. So my nose itches. My elbow itches. Si me pica el codo, lo rasco. If my elbow itches, I scratch it. If my nose itches, I scratch it. But it's not good to do it on television, so I will grin and bear it. In Spanish, you say ajo y agua, garlic and water, which has a strange additional meaning. In English, we say to grin, to smile and to grin are synonyms. And bear it means soportarlo, aguantarlo. Sonreír y aguantarlo. So my nose itches, but I'm not going to scratch it. Okay, because I'm on television. I can't do these things on television. Come on. All right. Is it true or not true that the more you smoke, the more you cough? I don't know. Probably. There's a certain correlation. Not 100% correlation, but the more you smoke, the more you cough. What do you think? Is it true that the more you smoke, the more you cough? Probably. In Spanish, you say, cuanto más fumas, más toses. The more you smoke, the more you cough. And there's a certain correlation. Is it true or not true? You tell me. Is it true or not true that the more you eat, the fatter you get? Okay, to get fat is ponerse gordo. To gain weight is not necessarily bad, or to put on weight. There are two ways of saying poner kilos, ganar peso. Is we say to put on weight and to gain weight. And if you are too thin, if you have been ill and you lost a lot of weight, then it's very good to gain weight or to put on weight. There are many people who need to gain weight. Now, to get fat is engordar, ponerse gordo, yeah. Now, is it true or not true that the more you eat, the fatter you get? Not necessarily. There is a correlation, but not direct. Not 100% correlation. If you go to the Giro d'Italia or the Vuelta Ciclista de España, or you go to the Tour de France, you go to any major cycling race or competition, and you observe the cyclists every day, you will see that they consume between 5,000 and 8,000 calories a day of food. And they burn all of it during the race. And they don't get fat. They are very thin, very athletic, very strong. So they eat more than you do and more than I do, but they don't get fat. So it's not necessarily true that the more you eat, the more you, or the fatter you get. Okay? Is it true or not true that the faster you drive, the sooner you arrive? The faster, the sooner. The more, the fatter. The faster, the sooner. Is it true that the faster you drive, the sooner you arrive? Yes. There is an absolute direct correlation unless you have an accident or unless you are stopped by the civil guard Or in America, the Highway Patrol. Or in the United Kingdom, I don't know, the Motorway Police. What do we say, Claire? The police. Okay. If the police stop you, you lose some critical moments, some time. And sometimes, if they stop you when you're driving from Madrid to Barcelona, and they stop you because you're speeding, you're driving too fast. You're driving above, not below, the speed limit. The speed limit is 120 kilometers per hour, or kilometers per hour. And if you drive at 140, you're driving over the speed limit or above the speed limit, and you run the risk. You run the risk of being stopped. Fijaos, he usado una preposición y un gerundio. Corres el riesgo de que os paren. Okay? You run the risk of being stopped by the police. Or in the case in Spain, by the traffic civil guard. And they're very serious people. They don't smile. They come up to your window. They come up to your window. Se acercan a tu ventanilla, a tu ventana. No he dicho they approach. It's correct to say they approach, but that's very technical. They come up to. From your point of view, from your angle, they come to you. And they come up. Why do we say come up? That person is standing and you're sitting in your car. You say he comes down, but we don't. To come up to is acercarse a, viniendo. To go up to is acercarse a otro yendo tú. And si te acercas corriendo, you run up to that person. Si te acercas andando, you walk up to that person. Or that person walks up to you. And if you te acercas a nado, you swim up to that person. If there's a person standing on the side of the swimming pool, and you're in the water, and you say, Fred, hello, and you swim up to Fred to shake his hand. We always use the preposition up. Why? I have no idea. Strange little things about the English language. So, it is true that the faster you drive, the sooner you arrive. If you don't have an accident in camino, on the way, or if the police don't stop you. Now, if the police stop you, it always feels a little violento, a little embarrassing, because you need to wait. The policeman comes up to your window. In Spain, they salute. In America, no. And they say, may I see your driver's license, please? Or, in Britannico, may I see your driving license, please? And usually they ask you for the papers on your car, the ownership papers of your car. Okay? And you spend about 10 minutes, perhaps, or maybe even 15 minutes, maybe even, o a lo mejor incluso, and maybe even 15 minutes stopped. And so all of the time that you gained driving fast, you lose because the police stopped you. But if you watch carefully, maybe they don't stop you. So in many cases, it's true that the faster you drive, the sooner you arrive. Some people never arrive because they have an accident. So in your opinion, is it true or not true that the faster you drive, the more possibility you have of having? Fijaos como lo he dicho. The possibility of having, the possibility of coming, the possibility of going. Okay, so is it true or not true that the faster you drive, the more possibility there is of having an accident? Well, yes, I think it's true. In my case, no. I'm different. But the faster you drive, the more possibility or probability there is of having an accident. Okay? Now, why am I? Fijaos la M. Am I? Amaya. Es un nombre español de mujer. Amaya. Why am I? An exception. The faster I drive, the less probable it is to have an accident. Well, I don't know if that's true or not. But when I drive slowly, I fall asleep. Okay? When I drive fast, I'm alert, paying attention to every corner, every curve, and watching for the traffic police. So I'm alert and I'm awake. And when my wife says, would you mind driving more slowly? Would you mind slowing down to speed up? is to go faster. To slow down. Speed up, slow down. If you're the passenger and the driver's going too slowly, you say, Pedro, could you speed up, please? Now, if Pedro's going too fast, you say, Pedro, could you slow down? Or would you mind slowing down, please? Okay. So, if I'm driving fast, my wife says to me, Clovey, could you slow down a little? So I slow down, and then I start to fall asleep. And my wife says, Clovey, you're falling asleep. Well, you told me to slow down. It's not exciting to drive now. It's very boring to drive. And so she says, well, two possibilities. She said, let me drive, or speed up. Okay? So, but it is true that the faster you drive, the more possibility there is, or the greater the risk of having, de nuevo, of más gerundio. The faster you drive, the greater risk you run of having an accident. So drive carefully. If you drive fast, be very alert. But even the most alert person in the world runs a greater risk when he or she drives fast, because you never know the condition of your tires, los neumáticos. If you have a blowout, un reventón, and you're driving fast, good luck. Okay? I've had one blowout, but I was lucky. I was driving from Austin, Texas, to Corpus Christi, Texas, an important city on the Gulf Coast of Texas. And I was driving, and I noticed the car was not driving smoothly. So I slowed down. Because I didn't speed up. I was driving about 80 miles an hour, which is 10 miles above the speed limit. And I slowed down to about 55 because something was strange with the car. And suddenly, boom! And I almost lost control. To lose control. In Spanish, you say lose the control. Perder control. We say to lose control. I almost lost control of the car. But I managed to steer the car to the side of the road and park. If I had been driving, pasado el condicional, if I had been driving at 80 miles an hour, I'm not so sure. So when you drive fast, if you're going to drive fast, make sure, asegúrate, make sure, no be sure. If you're planning to drive fast, make sure that your tires, las ruedas, neumáticos, make sure that your tires are in good condition. In good condition, siempre en singular. You say in Spanish, en buenas condiciones, in the plural. In English, we say, in good condition. Make sure your tires are in good condition. So, yes, it's true that the faster you drive, the sooner you arrive if you don't suffer any accident or if the police don't stop you. Okay. Now, is it true or not true that the more you drink, the drunker you get? If you drink Coca-Cola, no. But if you drink alcohol, yes. There's one exception. But in general, except for my exception, it's true that the more you drink, the drunker you get. And you say, good morning, welcome to my English class. Okay, that's to get drunk. Borracharse is to get drunk. So, the more you drink, the drunker you get. Now, is it true or not true that the less you drink, the drunker you get? No. The less you drink, no. The drunker, no, impossible. But there's one case in which you do. I remember one case. I remember one man walked into a bar. Said, barman, please, 10 brandies. And the barman put 10 brandies on the bar. And the man, he drank 10 brandies consecutively in a row. Oh, when he finishes, wow. A bartender. In English, in America, we say bartender normally. In Britain, barman. Barman, 9 brandies, please. And the barman put 9 brandies. Bam, bam, bam. And my friend drank 9 brandies. I said, wow, fantastic, good brandy, eh? Barman, excuse me, 8 brandies, please. And he continued, 7 brandies, please. And finally, he was completely drunk. And he said, my God, the less I drink, the drunker I get. So there is a possibility. But I don't recommend that you try it yourself. Okay, is it true or not true that the more you study, the more you learn? Usually, it's true. Although the correlation is not 100%, it is true that the more you study, the more you learn. However, in life, there are many things that you learn through experience. Through experience. En español decís la experiencia, a través de la experiencia. So sometimes the more you study, the less you really learn because there's certain areas of learning that require experience, gaining experience in life. So it's not necessarily true always that the more you study, the more you learn. Okay? Learn. Pronunciation. Earn. Burn. Turn. Okay? So, the more you study, the more you learn. Not necessarily. Okay? Notice what I'm saying. In Spanish you say, cuanto más estudias, más aprendes. Cuanto más bebes, más te emborrachas. Cuanto más hablas, más te duele la garganta. Cuanto más fumas, más toses. Always you say cuanto más, más. Cuanto más, más. Cuanto menos, menos. Cuanto, etc. Always you say cuanto. Some people say contra. Contra más fumas, más toses. Which I don't think is correct. But I'm not Spanish, so no me meto. Now in English, no. We say the more, the more. The less, the less. The bigger, the smaller. The taller, the easier. The shorter, the better. The bigger, the better. The taller, the better. The taller, the worse. The taller you are, the better you are as a basketball player. Not necessarily. So remember, el comparativo es para palabras de una sola sílaba y la mayoría de 2 sílabas se añade ER. Big, bigger. Small, smaller. Tall, taller. Easy, 2 sílabas, easier. And if the word, certain 2-syllable words, and all 3-syllable words and more, we add more at the beginning. More difficult, less difficult, more complicated, more fashionable. Okay? So, we simply put the comparativo, comma, the comparativo. Okay? It's very simple. The more you study, the more you learn. The harder, aquí no digo the more hard, porque hard es una sola sílaba, harder. The harder you work, the more you earn, maybe. There's not necessarily a direct correlation in that case either. The more intelligently you work, usually the more you earn. Yes, there you have a correlation. Okay? The more you watch this program, the more English you learn. Aquí insertaba, here I inserted a noun, English. The more water you drink, the less thirsty you are. The more food you eat, puedes insertar sustantivos. Cuanto más comida comes, más gordo te pones. The more food you eat, the fatter you get. The more greasy food you eat, the higher your cholesterol rate in your blood. Tasa de colesterol. Cholesterol rate. Tipo de interés. Interest rate. So the word rate, escrito rate, rate, has many meanings in English. It can be tipo de interés. Interest rate. Tasa de colesterol. Cholesterol rate. And also the rate that you charge a person que cobra la hora de su servicio. The rate. What are your rates? I charge, for my English classes, la tira, I charge 41 euros an hour for 1 hour of class. So if you want class with me, you have to pay me 41 euros. But with me, people say, "Uy, my God, you're expensive, Cloverdale. 41 euros an hour? Are you crazy?" I said, "No, I'm the cheapest." Come on. You're pulling my leg. You're joking me. You're kidding. Come on. Be serious. You're the most expensive teacher in the market. No, I'm not. I'm the cheapest. I don't understand. Listen, Pedro. Listen. Pedro. What? Listen, Pedro. What do you want? Do you want to receive English classes or do you want to learn English? Oh, I want to learn English. I'm the cheapest. I don't understand. If you want English classes, perhaps I'm the most expensive. But if you want to learn English, Pedro, I'm the cheapest. Unit of learning or unit of improvement per euro spent, I'm the cheapest. Do you think, Pedro, do you agree? Do you agree? But for you, what's the cost of this DVD? On this DVD, there are 3 TV shows, 3 TV programs, each one 20 minutes. You receive 60 minutes of English class from me, plus another 60 minutes of very good listening class from Richard Brown and other people. And you have a nice book that is a compendium that covers what we do. Okay? It's not expensive. You go every Sunday or every Saturday or whatever day and you buy this collection. And it costs, I don't know the price, 9 euros, 10 euros, 11 euros, 12 euros, I don't know. It costs the same of 1 menú del día per week. When you go to a small family restaurant and you order first course, second course, wine or water, bread, and a dessert and a coffee, what's the cost? 10 euros? Okay. I'm asking you to spend the equivalent of 1 additional menú del día per week for the best English course on this planet. It's cheap. So I don't accept any complaints, okay? And besides, my job is not to teach you English. My job is to motivate you to learn English because the learning process is your responsibility. My responsibility is to open the gates, las puertas, las compuertas en este caso, to open the gates of motivation in you. So I'm a catalyst. I'm not a teacher. I'm a motivational catalyst, okay? So, the more you study, the more you learn. The more you watch this program, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the better English you speak. And the better English you speak, the happier you feel. And the happier you feel, the more opportunities open for you. More doors open for happy people than for people who are not happy. So be happy. Don't worry, como dice la canción. Don't worry, be happy. Study English, learn it well, enjoy life. Why not? We only live life once. Let's enjoy it. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.